So the plot thickens. What's up, guys? I'm back. This is day 6. We're going through Genesis chapters 19 through 21. And this is where it's really, really going to be getting juicy, especially in this next chapter that we're going to be going through. So we know in the previous chapter, Abraham is interceding on behalf of Sodom and Gomorrah, which we'll now see doesn't really work, unfortunately, because God could not find 10 righteous people. In fact, I wanted to share a bit of information that my pastor Ramirez had shared a while back at a Valor Christian College chapel to a bunch of the students there. He said how many righteous people were actually in Sodom and Gomorrah. And a lot of the people were like 0. And then he was like, what about Lot and his family? That's 4 people right there. So in reality, God was looking for just 6 people in all of Sodom and Gomorrah that were righteous enough to save the city. And he ain't find not one of them. So this is where we see the angels that were walking with God and Abraham that had went ahead to go to Sodom, starting to enter the city gates. And for whatever reason, Lot was just sitting there at the entrance. And so in his generosity and hospitality, which he most likely learned from Abraham, just brought him in and say, hey, come to my house, come to my house. I want to give you guys a feast. I want to give you guys everything that I can. I'll even wash your feet. I'll make sure that you guys are taken care of. So Lot, he makes them bread that's without yeast, and gives them a whole feast. Everything's going well, right? Until these dudes come knocking and banging on Lot's door saying, hey, where are those men that came to your house? Bring them out here so that we can have sex with them. Now, I know that sounds crazy. Like, this is men that are young and old all throughout Sodom and Gomorrah that are just like banging on this man's door and really trying to get them out. And this is where Lot has the genius idea of saying, hey guys, chill. I'm not going to give you these men, but I do got some virgin daughters in the back that I promise you will make your lives happy. That's when they was like, who does God think he is? He just got here from being an outsider and now he thinks he's the judge. You know what? Matter of fact, we're going to treat you worse than what we would have treated those men. And so that's when they tried to lunge at Lot in his door. And then the angel pulled him in and was like, hold up, bro. This is crazy. Let me do something right quick. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to retrace my steps a little farther back because what Lot said about giving his 2 virgin daughters up was crazy. This just showed the corruption that Sodom was having on him. The culture that he was around was causing him to become more of a sinful man. The fact that he was able to just give up his virgin daughters like that and let, SA be the first thing that they experience as losing their virginity. It's pretty freaking wild, man. But nonetheless, we see the angels had pulled Lot in and then blinded the young men and the old men from being able to see anything. So they eventually just gave up and left. These angels were on a mission, protecting Lot at all costs, which is part of Abraham's prayer. And when the angels asked Lot, hey man, if you got any other relatives, some in-laws, go ahead and grab them because this city about to get destroyed and we got to get the heck up out of here. You feel me? It just shows God's mercy and how he's willing to extend that to just about anybody that is part of Abraham's family. And unfortunately, the warning wasn't enough. When Lot went to go to his son-in-laws, who were the fiancés of his daughters, they ended up thinking it was just a joke. Which, if you read in verse 16, he's over here hesitant on whether or not he wants to leave Sodom and Gomorrah after he was just told it's about to get destroyed in fire and brimstone. Which kind of makes you think, is this brother even serious? Did he even tell them the message? Is it like, oh, this is a crazy world-ending event is about to happen to the city. We need to get out of here. Or was he like, hey guys, there is going to be kind of like a fire happening and the buildings are going to burn down. He probably didn't even care. And it even shows that it happened all the way until the morning. The angels were there overnight. And in the morning, they finally had Lot by their hands and they had to run him out of his house because he was still hesitant about the whole thing. And this just shows that God keeps his promises and always listens to the prayers of a righteous person. And it shows that Abraham's intercession allowed Lot to escape the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. And it also is similar to what we read in James chapter 5, verse 16, that the prayers of a righteous man are fervent and they avail much. This is where the angels are, having had them out of the city, said, don't stop anywhere in the valley. Run as far as you can. Get to the mountains and get out of here. This is where Lot just starts being stupid. Lot is like, thank you so much for everything you did, but I can't go to the mountains because I know disaster is going to eventually strike me there. And this just made me think, how can Lot be so doubtful about God? He had the angels blind the men. He was warned about the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. They even made them flee, and yet he was still fearful and faithless. He trusted in man more than he did in God, as we see in Jeremiah 17:5, that those who put their trust in the man, woe to them. If God was able to spare him in spite of his lukewarmness, how could he even doubt that God would protect him? But a lot of people don't realize is just like those blinded men. Lot was blinded by his sin. As it says in 2 Corinthians chapters 4 through verse 4, it says that the God of this world has blinded the eyes of the unbeliever from seeing the truth of the good news. And so Lot is all like, I bet. Allow me to go to this city because it's this little town, this little village. It's small. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna be all right. Just allow this city for me. And so he goes to the village of Zoar, which literally means small place. And the angels don't end up destroying it because it's in the valley too, but just because Lot is there, it can't be destroyed. And so that's what happens. And it says he reached the village right as the sun rose above the horizon. And that is the exact moment that God sent fire and brimstone upon Sodom and Gomorrah for its sin. This is where we hear the famous story of Lot's wife, which you don't even know her name because of how sinful she was. Like, nobody cared about her when it comes to the Bible because she plays no role in this entire thing. And it says that she loved the world more than she loved anything else. That's why she looked back at Sodom and Gomorrah as it was being destroyed. And that's where she became a pillar of salt, because she had such a prolonged gaze. When it says that she looked back, she was staring at the city as it was burning down, which means she was really too attached to the past and just really couldn't let go. So she ended up dying with the world that she actually loved. This is where it says Abraham woke up early in the morning and got to the same spot where he was speaking with the Lord over Sodom and Gomorrah and saw all of the destruction, which is sad because it's very similar to what's happening now in California, unfortunately. Not saying that God's judgment was on any of that. It's just that you can imagine the fire, the burning, it's destroyed buildings. Like, that could be a freaking terrible sight. This is where the story just freaking goes off the rails. So Lot ends up still going to the mountains anyway because he was scared of the people in the village, that they were going to kill him or something. Which ultimately shows you that his disobedience is going to come back to bite him in the butt. So now at this point, Lot's daughters are virgins, and they still don't have husbands that can give them children. So in a desperate attempt to become pregnant, they roofie, or rather, they just get their father drunk and end up having sex with him in order to get impregnated and keep the family lineage going. And yeah, I know, that's a lot to take in. It shows that if Lot left when he was supposed to and make it to the mountains and not be in a cave after getting there, he probably would have found some son-in-laws to be able to impregnate his daughters so that they wouldn't have had to done something so crazy. But it also shows the corruption that happened to his daughters. It happened to his wife, and it happened to him, and now it's on them. And so we're going to continue this in another video. Just want to say, if you guys want to join us for this Bible study that we're doing throughout the year, I have the link in the description. Please come and join us. It's such a fun time to read the word, and I just love this. This is awesome. So I just pray you guys have a blessed day. God bless you, and let's keep going with it.